This is reporter Sydney Brown of SLNN at the dedication for the Monon South Trail. We have the opportunity to speak with our Mayor Green today. Mayor, thank you for taking time to speak with us today.
Thank you.
So my first question is, do you foresee the trails being available for events such as 5Ks and extracurricular programs?
Oh, absolutely. When the trail's constructed, it will be built certainly in segments, but our segment here in Salem will have a few miles at first, and then as it continues to be built out on either direction of Salem, you bet those events, those 5Ks, those memorial walks, anything that would be appropriate, yes, all that would be available.
So I know you've mentioned when you spoke today about keeping memories of our history alive and the companies that were here with the trails. So will there be educational signs and educational aspects along the trail?
At this point, the nonprofit that will own the base that will be the trail bed is doing a landscape architectural layout. And so, yes, there'll be resting nodes, there'll be informational signs, there'll be trailhead points, so all that'll be incorporated. So a lot of the signage could actually lead to the history of what the sites were that you're passing by, or maybe even the dates of the railroad. But yes, all those markers can be placed along the trail.
So what kind of business growth do you foresee being a result of this addition to our community?
Well, that's a very interesting question. You know, business growth, business development will come along in time, certainly very quickly, I think. Tourism is going to be a big aspect of that business model. So is it going to be a restaurant? Is it going to be a diner? Is it going to be an ice cream stand? You know, a lot of things that will be promoted along that. Could even be recreational businesses. You know, we may need some things for outdoor activities that complement the trail. So a lot of business opportunities will be provided.
What kinds of economic development do you foresee in the future of our community as we add the trails to our county tool belt, I guess you'd say?
Economic development ties right back into the business development. One of the things I mentioned in my speech this morning is changing the road structure, changing those crossings is a big deal. And I say that with economic development because the more we improve our streets, the more we improve our sidewalks, the walkability with the trail, the connectivity, all that comes into play with economic development. Certainly employers look at that. That's another check mark, if you will, when they're trying to add and increase their populace for their job creation or job retention. And so a lot of opportunity comes out of that for economic development.
Can you give us a brief overview of the process it has taken to create a plan for the Monon South?
A lot of process, a lot of months of planning. CSX has been in contact with a lot of the communities involved here today, many months, if not years. The abandonment process has been very lengthy, so a lot of discussion, a lot of meetings, a lot of notifications have been sent out. We've discussed it. We've even had a preliminary design. And now the final design is being handled now, so a lot of background has went into this.
Is there any other projects that you are hoping to be able to implement in Salem?
Oh gosh, a lot of projects. This announcement today is just a piece of that puzzle, certainly. I've said before, we've got a lot at Lake Celinda we're doing. We've got some additional park projects we're getting ready to announce. This is just, again, quality of place. This is a great Monon South Trail announcement today, but they'll all tie together, and I think everybody will really like.
Well, thank you, Mayor, for speaking us with today. This has been Sydney Brown at the Monon South Trail Dedication ceremony. Right back to the studio.
What types of activities can Hoosiers expect to be able to do at the trail?
Well, a number of them. You can hike, you can bike, you can ride, you can walk your four-legged furry friend, or the furry friend can walk you. And I think what's so important is what are the activities along the way, along the trail, because this is connecting 5 different counties. It goes from Clark County all the way to Orange County. And so when you think about Clark and Floyd and Lawrence and Washington and Orange counties and all the communities that you can stop at, if you're biking it or you're running it, jogging it, all those little different venues and vignettes that you can stop at, maybe grab a bite to eat, make it a day, make it a kind of a annual gathering, checking the bucket list. of saying I hiked the Monon South Trail. This is the Indiana's single largest contiguous trail in the state. And what that does is it says, bring it on, everybody else. See if you can beat our record, because you already heard earlier today they're already talking about Bedford and Bloomington attaching to this trail. So this is quite a special time in our state's history to be making such investments in quality of place and quality of life. But it comes back to your question, and that is, what can someone get out of this trail? And I suspect there'll be memories made forever.
What's the long-term plan for the Monon South Trail?
It's all about economic development. It's all about including public health. Health is wealth. And so the more we're taking in the outdoors, we've seen an explosion over the last couple years of outdoor activity and amenities, investment. Like, we're here this weekend. There'll be a concert here. They'll be opening up this venue with a local band where we stand right now. And it's what we're seeing is there's such an interest in getting outdoors and getting about and spending time with others outdoors. And to think about all these incredible backdrops that the state of Indiana just serves up on a tray, different. You could be in New Harmony, you could be in Angola, Indiana, or where we stand right now. And there's something for everyone, and trails are going to help us present that to everyone, whether you live here and you've just never been, or if you're from out of state and you want to come visit.
What is this something most Hoosiers are excited to be able to utilize?
I'll tell you what, in 2018, when we rolled out the Next Level Trails program, we knew there was a lot of pent-up excitement, because there had been trail advocates and supporters, enthusiasts that have been building trails around the state of Indiana, communities, cities, towns, building trails. And when we looked at the kind of the dots on the map and how we could better connect those dots to one another and really take it to the next level, the Trails program just kind of spoke for itself. And, you know, the progress speaks for itself. We were just named last year as the state that's the biggest champion of Rails to Trails in America. And yet we're doing more this year. And our legislature saw fit to invest tens of millions of more dollars into programs, outdoor amenities like Rails to Trails. And so we're blessed, we're fortunate, but we're not done. And we're hungry to do more. And that's what Trails has just shown us, is the excitement and the willingness to come together and get it done speaks for itself.
Where did the idea for the trail come from?
From other advocates and trail supporters that were around the state that really wanted to do more, but understood that if we could harness the synergy that was out there already all throughout the state of Indiana, we could really raise it to another level. So I'll just say our administration was inspired by what was occurring in kind of a hodgepodge way. We wanted to provide a little organization into it, and that's exactly what's occurred. The DNR has just stepped in and just been very methodical about making progress. Now we've got 75 projects that are already underway or completed throughout the state of Indiana, and that helps make the case to the legislature that we need to do more.
What does the timeline for this project look like?
Well, now it's in the DNR's court and the local communities. So we'll start with the Mitchell the Salem to New Albany portion, but then we've got to get to Mitchell as well. And so this will be like I said, a very methodical month by month tracking of each milestone before it's realized. But I'm hopeful that I'll be able to cut a ribbon along the way.
Thank you
so much.
Thanks for agreeing to speak with me today.
Tell Mom I said hi.
Okay. This has been Elaine Houchin with SLNN. Back to you at the studio.
That's awesome. Yeah, thank you.